Ask any Jewish child, what's your favorite holiday? You'll get different answers. Hanukkah, Purim, Sukkot, Pesach, maybe Rosh Hashanah. What kid is going to say Shavuot? In fact, try asking any Jewish adult. How many people are going to say Shavuot? Statistically, painfully, Shavuot is by far the least well-known and the least celebrated holiday on the Jewish calendar. There's no menorah. There are no costumes. There's no matzah. There's no seder. There's no lulav. There's no sukkah. There isn't even any fear factor or fasting like there is on Yom Kippur. The only thing we have on Shavuot is God and His Torah. And that's why the key scene in Megillas Rus, which we read on Shavuot, is so important. You've got two identically situated people, Rus and Orpah. They're both princesses, daughters of the king of Moab. They're sisters, or at least half-sisters. They're sisters-in-law because they've married Jewish brothers. They're widows because their husbands have died. And their mother-in-law, Naomi, who's also lost her husband. Their father-in-law is heading back to Israel from Moab. They start accompanying her. But Orpah stops early on in the journey, cries and kisses her mother-in-law goodbye, and goes back to Moab. Totally understandable. What does Naomi have to offer them? Absolutely nothing. Not a new husband, not a penny to her name, not a roof over their heads. But Rus cleaves to her, won't let go, tells her, your people are my people. Your God is my God. I'm going to live where you're going to live. When Rus gets to Israel with her, she has to become a beggar. The only thing Naomi had to offer her was God and His Torah, and Ruth cleaved. And the sages tell us that Rus and Orpah both lived incredibly long lives. Rus got to see her great-grandson, King David HaMelech, sit on his throne, and got to see his son, her great-great-grandson, Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, on his throne. And Orpah got to see her descendant, Goliath, killed by King David. Our choices have consequences. Sometimes we don't see those consequences for years, for generations, where long past we're up in heaven. But sometimes we see the consequences in our own lifetimes. And it's not enough to blow kisses like Hollywood, air kisses towards God. It's not even enough to cry. We have to cleave to Him and His Torah, because that's what sustains us. That's what has always kept us going. And sometimes it's easy during personal good times and communal good times, and sometimes it's extremely difficult when we're going through tough times personally or during times of persecution. But we must cleave, never let go of God and His Torah, our Torah. Have a wonderful Shavuos.